Hey guys, are you ready for part 2? So look, I put on my hair and my eyelashes just for y'all, and I'm going out, but you know. So now we have our slipper, and this is a different slipper than the one I patterned. That's okay. And we have us, the person we patterned it for. If you have someone who can help you, that is always really great, but if not, you can do this yourself. I do it myself all the time. So this form is not this person. I try to pat it out as much as possible, but this person was wearing a corset. So she had big boobs and tiny waist. So we're just gonna see how it goes, but it's fine. So you have your slipper, you have darts, you have shoulder seams, you have side seams, and we're going to put it on. And then I want you to pin it on the line. If you have it opening in the front, if you're doing it yourself, pin it on the line. Don't try to like make it fit just by like, oh, it's too big, I'm gonna pull it in the back. No. No. So, I'm gonna pin it together right on the line. And if it's too small, then pin it where you can. But if it's too big, pin it on the line. And with safety pins, not straight pins, because we don't want anyone getting poked. I got my little box of safety pins. Okay. This girl is not as... Oh, my dress form's gonna hate me. It already hates me. Okay, we're just gonna do it like this. I keep like making her bigger and smaller because for me, I make her as small as humanly possible for it to be. Okay, so now we can see it's kind of maybe a little tight in some places. You probably can't breathe. Okay, there are my snips. So now we're going to take our tiny slipper, and you just want to slit down into the throat, not into their throat, into the throat of the neck edge. And especially in the parts where it's curvy, you're really going to have to slit into there. But really, slit this down to the point that's comfortable. It's okay if it's farther than your line, like, it's fine, you know? And then in the bottom, you're just going to split it up center front to your line. And in the back, we're going to split it up kind of in the center of these panels, just so that it has a little more room. Okay. So, now we have it on. You probably can see how well it fits. I know on mine, breasts aren't really fitting just right. There's like all this extra there. There's an extra up here at the top. One thing I like to do, start off with, get a ribbon, tie it around where your waist is, right where your waist is, and that can be a very good guide for you on these things. Also when you're taking measurements, that's great. If it still feels tight anywhere, go ahead and slit in down here. Okay, so now we have it on. And I'm going to start with mine. I normally like to start with fit first, and then I'll move into my bust darts. And I want to point something out. You can see this right here. I'm not sure if you can, but there's a drag line. A very great thing about drag lines is they always point to the problem. So here, I have one down here too. This is saying there's too much tension here, probably because the waist on this is a little low. And I'm going to release it right here. Try to relieve that. And then it goes away a little more. So let's go ahead and figure out that waistline. You have your handy dandy Sharpie. Go ahead and just draw on the waistline right where it is. Just draw it right on the slipper. This is why that ribbon is super handy. Also when taking measurements, I'm sure I already said that, but just in case I didn't. So now we can see, our waistline is so much higher than we thought it was. We're going to rip this open all the way up to that line. Oh, and look how nice that is. Just relieves all that pressure there in the front as well. Now we have a great fit. So now, I'm seeing a little tension up here around the neck edge too. It's probably a little high for my dress form. My dress form's name is Penelope. You're going to draw this, and if draw it right up here into this shoulder seam. And in the back it looks like it's doing good. You want it to be high on the back because, you know, collars don't sit down, they sit up. So, and I will take pictures of this as well so that you can see the changes that I made a little clearer. So now we have drawn our neckline, we have drawn our new waistline. Now it's time to attack with safety pins. So I'm going to take this, and you always want to pinch both sides at the same time. I'm seeing that I want to take up this shoulder pitch a little bit so that it fits snugly. And you don't want this to be tight, but you want it to be snug. And as I said last time, it's supposed to be like a shell of your body. Right side and this up. And I will also have a video on how to correct your pattern from your sloper. But in order to do that, I have to get this pattern from the shop. Because I was like, sloper, bam, brown paper, bam, and then I didn't grab this sloper. Which is fine, so I took it up there. I don't need 5 million pins, just one. I'm going to take it up here. And if you have a dress form, you can pad it out to your body and use that to fit the sloper, but do check it on yourself because dress forms are not people. So now I see I'm going to take it up here, I'm going to take it up here. I'm looking at this a little, it looks like she's got a little room here too. So I'm going to pinch this up both sides. It's extremely important to pinch both sides to make sure that you're not pulling from the other side. Keep sides even. So I can see how much I need to take this in. Just going to pinch that in there. And because I'm not wearing this, I'm probably not noticing how tight it is around my arms. We'll address that in a second. Take these in here. Okay, so you're probably feeling, put another pin there in a second, probably feeling some tension around your arms. It's because the line on this arm's eye is where your sleeve would sit, but it's, you know, coming out further than that, so you're just gonna want to clip in to this arm's eye, especially at the parts where it curves quite a bit. I got a few drag lines because this arm's eye is not correct. It's fine, we're going to fix that later. So you can see here I just clipped in. That way it relieves it a little. It's good. Sometimes you can just put one pin, and I know it's going to zero out down here, but you want to make sure that that trajectory is correct. So I'm going to put in another pin at the side, just so that I have it coming in at the right angle. Okay, so moving on. Promise we will move on. Okay, so now we got a pretty good fit. It's fitting her pretty good in the bust and her like tumors. But if you're noticing fit difference in that, you're just gonna pinch it out here just like we did on the sides, so that you get a nice snug fit. And you want it to zero out. And then what I always like to do is I like to check my bust points. So on her, probably want to move it in a little bit, and I'm just going to draw little X's right where I think those should be. And then if this line is going to change, see this line here, it's not fitting just right, I'm going to draw a new line. No, I need to move that dart there, and I'm going to have these darts point right at it. This dart also needs, so we can see how those need to change. So our dart's pointing directly at our nipples. Okay, two last things. On this neck edge here, I can see that the shoulder seam should be pointing right up to about where your ear connects to your neck, to your head. So mine is aiming back a little bit, but the shoulder's fine, so I'm just going to draw a new line. You see that new line showing where I need that shoulder seam to move to. And I'm going to check that on the waist too. So aiming forward a little bit, I'm going to draw a new line. Okay, so now we have lots of little corrections to make. Make sure to check these. Mine are fitting okay, but if yours are not. Now, arm's eye. So, we want our arm's eye to drop. You can it's kind of right where this blue line is following on my dress. So it's going to drop from the top of the shoulder down around that joint and here so that it's comfortable. So it's little arm because my dress form doesn't have arms or muscles, but it looks to me like her shoulder, if she did, would stop about here, and you can kind of feel like where it indents on you. That's where you want it to fall, right in that muscle joint area. So I'm going to just redraw on this line. And like I said, this line changes all the time. Don't feel bad if it's like super off, because that's totally cool. Draw it in. Watch. Okay. And it looks to me on her like I'm gonna drop that just a little bit at the bottom. You get more movement the higher your arm's eye is. That's why ballerinas' arm's eyes go like all the way up into here and things like that. But it's not as comfortable. So you want it to be comfortable. And on jackets, on suit jackets, men's suit jackets down here, that's why they can only go because there's no movement. So now we have our sloper corrected. We have new bust darts. We have a new waist seam. We have a neck edge. We have a new shoulder seam. Side seam, we have a new arm's eye. We know how much we're going to take it in everywhere so that it fits us perfectly. Yay! So, I'm going to make a video about correcting this on Monday, and then we will get right to business with that. So, if you have any questions about this, be sure to post it. If you're having trouble fitting your own, you can post some pictures or a video and I'll help you out as much as I can. Yeah, and I'm going to go off to my tea party. So, you all have a great day. Bye!